We'll be seeing a diverse group of conditions which present with diffuse involvement of liver. So these are conditions, they are quite varied and have different etiologies, but the presentation is similar. And in most of the conditions, the endpoint is cirrhosis. The endpoint will be cirrhosis. So mostly MRI has been used as a problem-solving tool when ultrasound or CT scan cannot give you an adequate answer. But in many of these conditions, as we shall see, MRI is also used as a first-line tool. So what do we do? What are our aims is we detect the lesion, we characterize the lesion, we sometimes try to avoid biopsy, especially when the lesion is inaccessible. We use it for monitoring, and if some treatment is been given, we use it for follow-up. Now, compared to other modalities which we have, that is ultrasound, color Doppler, contrast enhanced ultrasound, and multiphasic contrast enhanced CT, if you have a good multiphasic contrast enhanced MRI with good breath hold, then this is the most sensitive and specific modality. However, what happens is that we need multiphasic contrast enhanced MRI. So if the patient is not cooperative and the breath hold is not proper, then sometimes a good multiphasic CT is preferred. Now, depending upon which part of the liver is involved, this is the group of abnormalities which we will This is the group of abnormalities which we will see. The abnormality may be there in the bile ducts like primary sclerosing cholangitis. It may be in the hepatocytes like deposition disorders, in Kupffer cells, or in the blood vessels or blood and blood products. The abnormality may be vascular. There may be excess vascularity or less vascularity, and because liver has got a dual blood supply, it may be from the arterial side or the portal venous side or the hepatic venous side. The various deposition disorders commonly found are deposition of fat, deposition of iron, deposition of copper, or other metabolites like glycogen. This protocol is common for most of the studies. What we do is first we